Yeah, so there it is. We're live.
And there it is. I'm bringing you up on my phone, going to live, all chat, so we get to see all the messages. Look at all the people already waiting for us to go live. Hi,
Oh,
everybody.
oh, hi, everybody. Oh, I'm so glad about that.
Happy Monday, all. First Monday of August. Spending the summer at the shore this time?
Well, as much as I can, I don't own any property there. But as I said, when your family's been going to the shore for 100 years, and you've lived in South Jersey, you always have somebody down the shore to have. There's always somewhere to sleep.
Oh, some couch you can surf on. That's good.
Oh, there's always a porch, an alley. I mean, there's always something to do.
I think your alley days might be behind you, but
Well, I don't know about that, but maybe, yeah, yes.
that's a nice option to have. We don't, I guess here in Chicago, some people do go into Wisconsin, you have some cabins or something. We don't really have a shore, to go to. There's Lake Michigan, but nobody really has vacation homes there. If you wrap around in Michigan, there's some places that, but not anything like what you describe. So we don't have that in the Midwest. We don't have a place to escape the heat.
Hey, it's nice to be here and to see folks that are here tonight. Now, Patrick, I have to apologize to you because I know that you did a preview, but I did not see. I didn't watch it. I didn't. Not that I didn't want to.
No, not a problem at all. I was in the final weekend of a show that I was in, and it became I ended up having to do them as shorts. So they didn't populate my channel as like true videos. They ended up in the short section. And I had to do 3 separate shorts and I like shoved them up. It was like one and done. So no worries. Not very few people saw them. More people saw my Instagram posts. So people follow me on Instagram. I think I got a little bit more coverage there. But I have a feeling I'll be a surprise to most people tonight. So we're good.
Did you now this was a show you directed, I think.
The show I directed that had ended in June, and then I was like, "Oh, my life is back to my own." And about a week after that, I got a phone call, and the lead of a show. I think we talked about it in the last one. It was The Man Who Came to Dinner. The lead of the show, The Man Who Came to Dinner, quit the show.
He went to a
And
diner instead.
yep, and so they needed somebody to fill in. So I had 15 days to learn that part, to learn the actual man who came to dinner. And then we just performed over the last 2 weekends. So that's been my life for the past 4 weeks, has just been learning this role, because if anyone knows the movie, he's on stage all the time. Monty, you probably know the movie. He's from the 30s. Monty Woolsey,
Well,
I think.
either Monty Hall or Monty Woolley.
Monty Woolley, that's what it was. And it's based on Wolcott, a real life guy. And the movie had Betty Davis in it. It had Jimmy Durante in it. It had some big names in it. But this was a stage production, and it ended up being fun, but it was a lot of work. And I did not have a lot of time to do much. And so all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, the first Monday is like coming up. And so I just grabbed a bunch of stuff that I stockpile for your sale. I try to have good stuff for everybody. So I had a pile, like, okay, we're going to put it and take pictures. And that's what went out in the video. So I did a little bit.
Well, and The Man Who Came to Dinner and Guess Who's Coming to Dinner are very different stories.
Very different things. I was not the title character in the Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. That would be a very light-skinned production of that show. But no, Man Who Came to Dinner, 1939.
Monty Woolley, I think. Monty Woolley, I think, is who that was.
Yeah. And 1939 was a film. And so it was a lot of references that we ended up changing. Elsie Dinsmore didn't know who that was. Hamilton Fish didn't know who that was.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So we updated some of the reference. Not updated. They just changed them. Like Elsie Dinsmore became Betty Davis. So it's like it was still an appropriate name for 1939, but just happened to be somebody that still existed. There were people that would know now, and it was good.
Gosh, it was in my mind and now it just escaped, but it'll probably come back. I've always been a history nerd.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was in high school, we did a production of Annie. and the cast was set, and I had nothing leading, but so I was in the chorus, and I was at Great Depression. We'd like to thank Herbert Hoover, and I was a butler, and I just was all kinds of things, and I had a blast. But when our director cast the thing, he had all men in FDR's cabinet. And I knew that the Secretary of Education was a woman, Perkins. What was her first name?
Oh.
It could be a man or a woman. Anyway.
Yeah. Elizabeth.
No, it wasn't Elizabeth.
No?
Huh?
No, I thought, no, I mean, there's a more common one, but no, we just did that in a game show the other day.
Okay. It's a name that's unisex or whatever. But anyway.
Okay.
And I said to our director, I said, oh, but the Secretary of Education was a woman, and I think that was either it was something. But anyway, so we switched it, and anyway, that was just something funny that it's like only you would know that at age 16.
Frances Perkins. Thank you, Carmen.
Thank you. Somebody looked it up.
Yep.
Frances Perkins was the Secretary, I think, of Education or something. Anyway, so we had to change her to a woman.
And I think she was the first female in a cabinet.
I think so.
If I remember correctly, yeah.
It's funny how cultural I would have assumed that Frances Perkins would have been a man as a cabinet member in FDR's. I don't remember which term it was, but anyway.
Well, we ended up talking a lot about the references because we had probably the funniest story that developed during the rehearsal is we had an 18-year-old kid playing the son in the show, age appropriate. And he's supposed to be a camera freak, and he's really good into photography. And so he had this old-fashioned camera. I don't think it was quite age appropriate, but it did the job. And so he was taking pictures, and what the director suddenly realized was he would take he looked down because it was a top viewfinder. So he knew to do that. So he's holding it and he's looking down. He took the picture, he clicked it, great. And then he would flip it like he was reading the back, like it was a digital display. And he wasn't being ironic. Like he honestly thought that when you took the picture, you'd be able to see the picture you took. And we're like, no. He's like, well, no, like old cameras, they did that. What was it? Digital camera? I'm like, first of all, that is not old. It's
20 years old. It's vintage.
It's vintage.
Old.
Well, and the one that we updated, there's Nathan Lane did a version of it. And so they updated some of the references. We used several of those. But one of them, this is the little useless trivia question for everyone. There's a question, I get asked, did you kidnap someone? And I'm supposed to respond as part of a joke. Yes, that was Charlie Ross. Does anyone know who Charlie Ross is? I had to look that one up because clearly it's supposed to be funny, but we're like, I have no idea who that is. It turns out Charlie Ross was the first person ever kidnapped for ransom in like 1890. So in 1939, it would have been maybe still somewhat pop culturally. You might have known it, but good Lord, move it to 2026. Nobody had any idea who you were talking about. So we make some of those changes, I think helped the audience along with the jokes. Anyway, but then we're not here to talk about our theater backgrounds. Although I'd love to see you as Annie. I think you've still got it in you.
I think there's a red curly wig around here somewhere.
There you go.
Maybe David borrowed it.
Or maybe we're both on our way to being Daddy Warbucks.
Well, listen. What was it? Well, not well, listen. So we're here to have a sale tonight. So let's do it. In case anyone is new, I sell from and ship from New Jersey. Patrick sells and ships from outside of Chicago. Shipping is extra. And it's only based upon how big and how heavy the box is and how far away your zip code is from ours, respectively. And so we will hold the items up and talk about them and tell you the condition and give people a chance to jump in. And we want to thank Karen Williams, who I think is here. I don't know. Have I seen Miss Williams?
She just jumped in the chat and said hi. Yep.
There she is. And thank you so much, Miss Williams, for moderating. If there's any questions, please let Karen take care of it. She is Karen on the spot. And we just love what she does. And My goodness. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. Joshua says I've always gotten packages from both. Josh, thank you. Thank you. We do, Patrick and I both, if something gets broken, if something gets lost, if something isn't as you think it should be, we always fix that. We're honest guys in terms of selling, and we would never, until you ship my peach bowl. I don't know what peach bowl you're talking about. Anyway, I don't know what peach bowl you're talking about. So if there's any issues, we always work those out.
And even though this is something I do on the side, as opposed to Scott does this as his primary, I still take it seriously, and I want to make sure I don't get invoices out as quickly as Scott because I am trying to squeeze it in, but I will try and get invoices out by Wednesday night so I can will get shipped out by the weekend. So hopefully, I know there was one, Joshua, thank you for saying that. For some reason, there was a delay. It was stuck in a distribution facility for like 2 weeks in the middle of Florida. He contacted me, we poked for it, and they released it, and we got it through. So I always want to make sure everyone's happy with what they get. And we'll package well and try and save you some money on shipping, but shipping is getting more expensive. That's something I've noticed.
Oh, I haven't noticed. Pirate Ship just gives me one or the other. It's either the post or UPS usually.
The bigger packages, I find UPS is really the only way to go. And the pricing is markedly different. US Postal Service is still usually cheaper for the smaller stuff. But what I used to be able to ship something for a year ago, it's not like $1 more than it was. So I'm seeing it's going up.
Really?
Yep.
Well, do you want to go first? Yeah,
sure.
As you normally do. So let's do that. I'm going to go ahead and enlarge you, and we'll let you start.
All right.
Here we go.
So even though we are no longer just the Unbreakable sale, I still honor our Unbreakable tradition, and I'm starting out with some Unbreakable items. So the first thing I've got, and for Karen, this is a $10 start, but I do want to be very clear on condition initially. Got some great old children's books. To start with The Land of Lollipop. If you do follow my Instagram or my Trusty Huckster Mercantile Instagram or YouTube, I did preview these. This is from 1926. It does have the book plate in it. What I didn't realize, even when I was doing the video, I was so careful about turning the pages, I didn't realize that the inset of these pages had actually been loose from the spine. So just be aware. All the pages are still bound, which is kind of nice, but they're just no longer bound to the cover. But there's some beautiful art in here. I love ephemera. When we first started doing these sales, the Unbreakable, I did a lot of ephemera. Magazines and children's books tend to be more popular because the art is so cool. You just don't like cutting apart books, but sometimes it needs a new life, and some of this art would look great if you just cut it out and framed it. So you get The Land of Lollipop, 1926. This one was published by New York Bullion, Sanders, and Chop. That one I didn't know. But it's the Swan Books series. And then the other, you get both. This is not choice. You get both. The other one is Our Animal Friends. When I presented it yesterday, when I did the preview video, first I'll show the box has been squished on the end. So it's still fully solid. It's just it's lacking a little bit of its box form when you look at it from the end. So just be aware of that. But it is nice because the book does come in a box with the same cover on it. So this is the box. This is the book. When I presented it in the preview video, I'm like, oh, wait, this last page has a picture but no text on it. Well, I did a little bit more digging. I think that's just the way they ended the book. Because it's Our Animal Friends. It's done by Whitman Publishing Company out of Wisconsin. That's the same company class that published Little Golden Books. So they did do more than Little Golden Books. But every page that they had a picture, a full page picture. So again, even though this is solid, completely contained, this would look fantastic if you cut some of these pictures out and frame this. How cool would this be in a children's nursery? All of them that are part of the story have a caption at the bottom of them. So there's the kittens and the dog. There's Bossy the gentle cow. All full page pictures. When you get to the end, the center picture, as you saw, was loose. It did just come out. In the end, that last picture doesn't have a caption. So I think they didn't have a 2-page spread. So they just made a picture. It did not have the picture to go opposite of that. I just realized in my live, I'm not showing. So I'm going to update. I'm going to close my YouTube on my phone and open it again because I'm not sure I'm actually talking. Okay, there I am. All right, I do not see any bids. So I'm just going to go ahead. If Karen, if you can put in a stop, we will just go ahead and pass on these. I talked long enough and I had no takers. We'll try and get through as many things tonight as possible. And although he didn't say specifically, I am doing, I think we're going to do 2 items each. And sure. So my second item is the breakable item. And this is a $10 start as well. If you look very closely at this, I do now believe that this is a marriage. I talked about this when I did the preview video. When I bought it, I didn't realize it was a marriage. I thought the slightly discoloration in the bottom, it had actually been filled with the residue of the old perfume. So I rinsed it out, washed it out best I could. It still has a slight discoloration to it. But then when I looked more closely, the top is in beautiful condition. And there's a little bit of a chip, as you would expect on an older stopper. But these starbursts on here are also on the bottom. Hey, great. It matches. Well, if you look really closely, this starburst, this sunflower sunburst that's on here has a fairly open, clear spot. And it's not hollow. It's just clear. There's a fairly big circle. If you look on the starburst on the bottom, it's not as big. And I think if this were designed to go together, those would probably be more uniform in shape. So it's still attractive, but it's not worth what I thought it was worth. And so I'm starting at a lower price. So I'm just going to start this at $10. There is no marking on here. It does not have a pontil on the bottom. So it was molded, but not blown into the mold. It does have the seam on the side and an attractive piece, but admittedly a marriage. If you put a colored liquid into the bottom, you would kind of just hide the little discoloration in the glass and it would be a fantastic accent to a shelf or to your vanity. I do not see any action on this one either. So I'm going to strike 2 strikes and I'm out. I'm going to ask Karen to go ahead and do a stop and pass things back over to Scott.
Okay.
Oh, got a bid. Got a bid even before Karen put in the stop.
Okay.
Do you come back to me, please?
Bring the picture back to you?
Yes, please. I do have a bid. It came in before Karen put in the stop. I think we've got a very hefty, based on my own video, I've got a very hefty delay. So be aware of that. And if you are interested, bid quickly. I see 1 bid coming in from PA Buzzard. I will go ahead and count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. So watch for that stop. And thank you, PA Buzzard, for jumping in when you did. And everyone, do a quick refresh before Scott starts talking, so you make sure that you've got as up-to-date of a feed as you can have.
Marianne, I went and I looked in my email. I typed in your name, and I don't see anything about a peach bowl. I don't remember any peach bowl. You don't have to go into it here, but if you'll just write to me again. And then I also searched under your name, and I don't see any emails about a peach, P-E-A-C-H bowl. So I'm really not sure what it is. So just let me know, and I'll figure it out. But I did check real fast, and I don't see anything, but I might have missed something.
Maybe it's autocorrect. Was it a punch bowl? But you said you didn't have any emails from her.
Well, she said peach bowl, so I don't know.
I didn't know if that was autocorrect. Maybe it was punch.
No, I didn't sell any punch bowls. But anyway, we'll keep going.
That would not be a fun thing to ship.
Yeah, a punch bowl. I have shipped the small Anchor Hocking punch bowls sometimes before.
Yike.
But they're not that. They aren't terribly large. So, okay. So the first, are you still there? No, there you are. Okay. So the first thing that I have for you tonight is this cute little, what would have been a picnics from a picnic set. But this now, there's no picnic basket. Anyway, it's plastic and it's for 4 and it's just so cute. I had it in the preview earlier today. This little set here at $12. It's in very good condition. I don't see any problems with it. 4 plates, 4 cups, and silverware for everybody. From the 50s, 60s, that kind of thing. I'll show it to you. But $12 start, and it is marked on the bottom. What peach bowl, Marianne? Just tell what.
Don't obsess. You guys can chat with
Like,
it.
what
later.
peach bowl?
See, good thing we're doing Unbreakables.
Yes, because I've just thrown my silverware. And in my show earlier, I said the kids can throw it on the floor and it will make a difference. So you're going to get.
Carmen's got you started at 12.
You get 4 cups. You see the colors? And it's marked whatever it is. What did I tell you earlier? Casual wear. It says casual wear on the bottom. See? And I'm in my casual wear. So you get these adorable little cups. This was probably fitted down into a picnic basket. The plasticware is blue and pink. It's great shape. It doesn't have teeth marks, chew marks on it. There are 4 spoons, 4 forks, and 4 knives, but they're all pink and blue. And then the plates are yellow, pink, blue, and white. Oh, we have to sell these this summer. Don't you? Can't you just, the little grandchildren come over, or
I don't know why, but I think that those plates are such fun, cute sizes.
Maybe you have a spouse that likes to throw their silverware. I don't know. Or a loved one. But isn't that the most cute little thing that you could use?
That is very cute.
For a picnic. Okay, so what we can do now is count them down. Did we get an opening bid on the?
Yes, Carmen has you at 12.
Hey, Carmen. Okay, Carmen has us at 12, and that's the opening bid for the fun summertime hard plastic, good shape. They're not scratched either. So these really don't look like they've been used. And they were probably in a big picnic basket. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it on the mid-century plastic. Fantastic plastic, as Dee would say. Now, I'm going to have to go all over this floor and see if I... the stop is in, and Carmen at 12, right, Carmen?
Yes.
Okay. The picnic set. All right. The next I've got for you, red sails in the sunset, way out on the sea. Okay. I have a pencil sharpener. We start.
How fun.
This starts at $35. And I'm selling it because I forgot to have another one in the basement. I said I wasn't going to sell it, but I'm going to sell it because I have another one. So if you have a minute, can you let us know how to bid, please? You just type it into the chat, but Karen will tell you. This sharpener is in. Look, now let me tell you something. I know about these sharpeners. This plastic is usually scratched, dirty, torn up. This is what's called very clear, and I'm going to take it off. The latest patent date on this is 1921. The earliest patent date is the 30s. Now, don't ask me. Well, you can ask me, but I'm not going to be able to tell you. And everybody says celluloid. Maybe, maybe not. Remember, there were a lot of weird plastics. Bakelite is a plastic. Celluloid is a plastic. And DuPont and other companies, there were several different types of plastics around this time, and that's what this is. but look at the decal. It's a Dexter number 3 with all of the patent information underneath. And let me tell you, the patent dates, oh golly. The earliest patent date on it is 1900. The last patent date is September the 13th of 1921. So it's no older than September of 1921, but we're in the early 20s on this. It works beautifully. It can be mounted and screwed onto a table. There's the original price tag. I don't mind letting you see I paid $12 for it. Complete honesty. And anyway, I'm going to put this back on now. So you can see that's how you empty the shavings. So we'll go back on. It's very easy to do as I'm struggling to get it back in there now. W.C. Fields said never do a show with animals or children, I think. Anyway, there it is. So I love it. You can bolt it, mount it down onto whatever. But the condition, we're talking about a 100-year-old pencil sharpener. And the plastic on these doesn't get much better than that. I've seen these. Have you, Patrick?
I've never seen one like that. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Well, it's the Dexter number 3. It's probably made in Chicago. It was Chicago. I don't know why I thought it was Chicago. Automatic Pencil Sharpener Company, Chicago. So you won't be disappointed in the condition of it. It's wonderful. So we'll count it down. Story Stitcher, it really is in great shape. 10. The high bid right now is 37, and we'll count it down. 10, 9, 8, with a wooden handle. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it on the sharpener. As I said, I was going to keep this, but I do have another one in the basement, which I forgot I had. And everything is working on it. You can turn it to do the different widths of pencil widths. Okay. And the sharpener is going to...
You've got some people fighting for it.
Wait, where is it on here? Here we go. Margaret Howe gets it at 52.
That is the last I see, but Lori Perry came in with the same timestamp, so Karen hates to adjudicate.
Okay, Will.
Yes, it was Margaret Howell at 52.
Thank you, Margaret. Thank you, everyone who placed bids. Patrick, you got the floor.
All right. Thank you, Margaret. And Jim, I hope you got your answer, your question answered. Apologize.
Yeah.
Since we've been doing it for so long, we do kind of skip over some of the preliminaries. Totally fair for you to ask the question. Unfortunately, Karen was trying to answer other things as well. But as hopefully you're seeing, kind of learn by osmosis, just type in the number of what you want. Basically, put in what you think you want to pay, or you could say what our starting bid is. You can't go below that. But is that other people make sure you're in all messages. There's a default to go to the top chat, go to all messages. That way you see everything. And the biggest thing is if somebody outbids you, you won't be told. You'll just see somebody else's bid go in and you'll need to bid above. When we do that countdown, make sure you get your highest bid in, like what you're willing to pay. Just like if you saw the jump in the last one, a couple of people are like, you know what? We're not going to go dollar increments. We're going to do $10, jump up because you want to try and snag it at the end.
Thank you for the question. I was not trying to be dismissive of you. I knew you would catch on, and I knew. So, Patrick, thank you for.
Oh, not a problem at all.
Going into that, and feel free, ask a question. Karen will jump right in, and you'll see it's easy, and we're fun. We're an easy crowd.
Yeah, low key, low pressure stuff, and appreciate also the rest of the chat letting Karen answer that. There does tend to be some people want to be helpful, but then you get mixed messages sometimes. So hopefully, Jim, you're still here and you're enjoying yourself. And hey, there's a lot of people that don't bid at all. Just enjoy. If you saw my preview, you see what's coming up next is a stack of an entire folder of German die cuts. So this is a $20 start
I'm
and
not
you
sure what that
get
means, Anna.
all of these. So I'm going to try and show what they are with a backdrop, and then I'll kind of show you how many you're getting. You're getting all. Again, this is not choice. So you see these are just like little kids playing. I did when I did the video. Does this one have it? Yeah. You can see there EAS. You can see the stamp that's in one of the links. And there's another EAS somewhere. It says printed in Germany. So these are German vintage die cuts. You can see how they're attached. They're very fragile. You can see a couple of them have popped out. A couple of the pages are complete. You also get an envelope that has a lot of the loose ones in here. There's gold for Valentine's Day. You've got this set of all these Victorian flower designs, forget-me-nots, lilies of the valley. I've got them upside down. And you can just see they're attached, but because they were printed that way, die cuts, but you just cut them apart and you've got scrapbooks, you've got greeting card making, you've got whatever you want. And to be perfectly honest, some of these would just look super cool framed. This one I put on a metal background to see if you can see it a little bit better. And you can see because they were printed in Germany, they have a little bit of a post-war a German European look to them. You know, they might as well be wearing lederhosen. But a great and look how many of these are, you know, depending on what you're going to be using these for. Sometimes you can buy the individual die cuts. You know, look at all these flowers. You know, sometimes the die cuts can sell for $5 to $10 by themselves. So this is, you're getting all of these, some of them strung together, some of them loose. Again, you know, you've got Happy Valentine's Day. You've just got a whole batch of the loose ones that are in here. But again, several other full page ones. So I'll try and show more of them. This one is all floral. Try to hold it up so you can see it against the backdrop. So you get all these great flowers. You got some pansies. You got rose baskets. There's a couple. I think there was some. What do I want to say? Storybook characters. Let me pull some of these out. So you've got Three Billy Goats Gruff, I'm assuming. You got a little princess. You got a little girl flying a butterfly kite. You got maybe Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Another whole sheet of flowers with kind of a doily one in the back that's just clinging to it. Another one of storybook characters. So you've got, you know, she's feeding the birds. I don't know who all these characters are. Little old lady. Maybe she's trying to eat Hansel and Gretel. I don't know. So just look at the graphics on all of these. Oh, those are the musicians of Bremen. I know that. The donkey, the dog, the cat, and the rooster. Bunny rabbit. Yeah, die cuts are very collectible, Story Stitcher. And then I tried to figure out exactly how old these are. I really couldn't do it. But there are a couple clues that these were also in the pack, and they all came from the same place. These packs have been opened, so they've used some of them, but you can see at the top, they were already put into a Taylor's Antiques at the time. And look at the 2-digit zip code. So these were packaged in 1963. So they're all going to predate 1963. So you've got some, like those look like the calling card, Victorian die cuts on calling cards. And then look at the horses. So again, fantastic lot. You also have a batch of doilies that you could like use to frame some of them or just cut the loose piece off. Get about 5 or 6 of those. You get them all. So I think I saw some bidding coming in. So I took longer on these than I had planned, but they're hard to show. And I don't want them to tear. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. And they will ship flat. I'll even keep them in the folder so that I don't have them running loose all over the place. And that is a folder I got them in, so we will keep it consistent. These things are annoying because they all of the little rough edges, they want to cling to each other, so you can't scoot them flat.
Oh, golly. Gee whiz.
All right. So it looks like Thomas Cummings gets them for $25. Okay. The next one is going to be equally obnoxious to show, but this is a fun one. Hopefully you saw the video. What I have is an entire box of a mix of salt and pepper shakers in the Toby Jug style. So they are a $15 start. And for the $15 start, you get 2, 4, 6, 8. You get 9 of these. Now, if you do basic math, you have 9 salt and pepper shakers. So at some point, you have either a salt or a pepper. You have a lone wolf. So I can try and show some of the ones that I would say do go together. I would say these two go together. No, that's not the one that go together. These two go together because they both have kind of the beret on them. So they're a little bit different. See the one? No. He's also got a brimmed hat. Which one's the other one with the beret? Yeah, it was this one. So these two, these look like they're identical. They both have the beret, so you can keep them together. They do have the same, wait a minute, did this one? They have the identical design, but different number of holes on the top. So this is definitely a pair. So you get the gentleman. Both of them happen at the corks. These are all made in Japan. So you get that pair. Now you get this pair. This lovely elderly lady with her babushka. Now you could put them together, but they have the exact same number of holes on the top. So maybe you want to mix that with a gentleman because he's got more holes on the top of his head. So you'd have, and there you go, Joan, you could have cinnamon. You could have a spice in every single one of these. So you've got the same type of style. In this, again, they're kind of like the Toby Jug look, all these faces. So you get that pair. And then you've got the other woman that matched it, and you could match it with this guy. Or you could celebrate the LGBT community and have 2 men together and 2 women together. You can do whatever you want. They're yours. You can resell them if you want. These two would go together. Well, okay, here's the other part. These two, again, pretty identical, but they also have the exact same number of holes on the top. So you could match him up with the one-eyed Jack dude, and he only has 2 holes in the top of his head. And so they still have, they're both hats. They're both gentlemen. You could pair those together. No matter how you do it, you're going to end up with one lone wolf that's off on his own. So, or like she said, put the 3 of them together and suddenly you've got salt, pepper, cinnamon, nutmeg, sugar, whatever you want. So you get 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 individual pieces. It's a $15 start. They all will be shipped nicely, packed, so they will not break. And most of them have corks, but a couple of them do not. So I rambled enough on these. I didn't see any bids come in, so I will go ahead and ask Karen to put in the stop and pass things over to Scott.
I also neglected when I created the live to put subscriber mode only, which is why we had an odd comment there. So
Yeah.
I went back in and put in subscriber mode. That means that the people that are here are already subscribers to either one of us, and that keeps people from just floating around on the internet and jumping in and saying weird things. So I forgot to do that, but I put that in. So maybe
Back to you, sir.
That's it.
Thanks, Karen.
And the next item that we have for sale tonight that I'll bring to you now are 2 cats. They don't have any damage, and they stand about 6 inches tall. And these are Taiwan. So since they're Taiwan, we have to be back in that. What was the big era of Taiwan? The 50s and the 60s?
I would say getting into the 60s.
Or the 60s.
Yeah.
So they have, what's the start? $20. because they're the old ones. Hold them still.
Look at those.
They're about 6 inches tall. They both have cool and limpid green eyes. The eyes on this one are not quite as pronounced as the eyes on
Oh,
this.
wow. Yeah.
But look at those green eyes. It's the way they did on the cats.
That's fantastic.
They're both marked made in Taiwan on the bottom. And they sit facing each other like that. So their little ears are not chipped. They're not crazed or cracked. And if you're mid-century, I've got a couple of mid-century things here tonight. So if you're mid-century, good for you. No, I lie. That's actually about 7 inches tall. No, that's closer to 8. We'll say 7.5 inches tall. This is 9 inches from here to here, and that's my ruler. So they're about 8 inches tall.
Kentucky Digger Steve's got you up to 26.
Hi, Kentucky Digger Steve. These are not from the 80s, I don't believe. Do you think these are from the 80s, Patrick?
I would say no, but everyone has their opinions.
From the 1980s? I think they're a little bit older than that.
Even that felt, I'd put them older with that felt on it.
Yeah,
it's on the felt.
Especially with the no, I'm familiar with Art Deco revival. I don't know that we were getting a whole lot from Taiwan in the 80s. I think we're a little older than that, but I believe we're a little bit older than the 80s on these. So you want to sing the Siamese song? Yeah, thanks for putting that. Thank you, Karen. That's true too. So let's count the two pottery, if I didn't say, ceramic Siamese cats down. And here we go. Ready? The high bid is
Joshua at 40.
10. Oh, what are they made of? They're ceramic. They're heavy. They're a ceramic with a beautiful black glaze that doesn't have crazing on it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. And these have more of a mid-century look than an Art Deco look. You got to remember, when we had that Deco revival, it was much more angular.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've got Deco cats. In fact, there's one right here. That Deco cat is actually from the 30s. And you might not really see, there are differences in those styles. That might not be evident, but there really is. You can see that this one, and this one is Japan, and this is a 1930s era one. That one is. And I've got another one out there that's from the 40s, and that's even more angular. But yeah, some of them are really geometric looking, and others have more of a flow, more of a 60s look to them. Did I that was it for them?
Yeah, the stops come in.
Okay.
Lola May has it for 60.
Oh, Lola May. That's right. Lola May is a cat collector. Hey, Lola May, how are you? I forgot. Yes, Lola May.
She swept in. She knew what she wanted.
Thank you, Lola May. And thank you, everyone else. Josh, I know you placed a bid. Thanks, everyone else who placed bids. I appreciate that. So next, since we did the black cats, now let's really do something that's black and deco. And I had to go and grab this because I'll tell you in a minute. I actually had to pull something from the auction that was in the preview. I'll tell you why later. I'll tell you in a minute. Nothing bad. I didn't break it. I'm going to close that in a minute. We don't have to have the whole neighborhood looking in. But let's go ahead with this. This is a big one.
That is.
It is. That's a good 12-inch, and it's a black glass vase. And this is from the 30s, and it starts at $29. free, crack free, excellent condition. It's got no etching on it. So you just have beautiful black glass. Now, I know I've said this before. This was a very popular form in the 30s. And so guess what? You can't Google image it because Payton City made it, Fenton made it, Beaumont made it, Economy Glass Company made it, Imperial made it, Anchor Hocking made it. Everybody made, if they sold and there was money to be made, the glass companies would make up their own mold. Now, I like this one, and I know someone's going to ask, is it black or is it amethyst? And I want to talk about that some other time. You've got to stick it up, way up into a light bulb, which I've just done, way up into a light bulb to be able to see any little bit of amethyst. So it's black. You don't see any purple at all unless you stick a 100-watt light bulb, down in it. So that's right. Lots of makers could make it. And with Payton City, they would put beautiful etches sometimes. Oh, they were known for beautiful etches. Thomas Cummings has a bit of 30. That's right, Thomas, you like black glass. Now, there's no optic on it. And it doesn't have any damage at all. Oh, lots of, yeah. Wow, that lamp glowing in the, that lamp. Yeah, I've got to turn the, all right, so this one I just pulled at the last minute. What is on the floor? Any questions on the vase? There's no mark on the bottom, so you're not seeing anything that's printed on there. That's just from the mold. There are no words on there. That's just mold. That's just something that was on the bottom of the mold. Yeah, the rim does look fluted, but there's not an optic to it. See, it might have been stretched and worked when it was hot. It might have been. We'll count it down. Here we go. 10, 9. I don't know what the 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm going to close those curtains. I'm glad there wasn't a dead spider in here. It's been in the basement. There's usually dead spiders in everything in my house.
Yeah, you clean all your stuff before you show it, though.
Yeah, usually. But I had to run down and get this because I had to pull something very quickly from the sale, and I'll tell you in a minute.
So it looks like the stop went in, so it looks like Thomas Cummings got that for 30.
Okay, Thomas.
Great pickup.
Well, that's coming to you. It is a nice big one too, in great shape, and that'll go well into your black glass collection. You're going to put it in the middle of your table as a centerpiece. Is that what you're going to do? I love it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. All
right. Next item that I'm going to be offering. Really hard to say the age on this. These have been made, it could be almost contemporary. It could be 50 years old. These are the wooden boxes. I have gotten into a lot of Asian art and antiques lately. And this was one I picked up along with a set of Asian boxes that had the carved jade inserts. This is a 2-piece box. It is a $12 start. And what I really like about this is it fits together very nicely because the way it was carved, there's a little notch in the top and a little push on the bottom. I'm sure there's another tab on the bottom so that it sits in a very specific way so you can create the pomegranate. So my Indian born husband knows quite a bit. His family is also Korean, gives me some of the insight on the Asian art, antiques, and culture. And according to him, pomegranates represent fertility and good fortune. Not a lot to be said about this other than it's a very cool design. If you've ever eaten or seen a pomegranate, you've got the actual look of the pomegranate seeds carved right into the front. It does have a definite front or back because the back is just simply smoothed as the pomegranate. It's got the little, I'm sure there's a name for that little flare crown thing that's on the edge of a pomegranate. I got credit for actually knowing it was a pomegranate without asking him. And then even the root system created the little handles to make it. It is relatively small. Should have measured it. I've got my tape measure here. The interior of it is the inside is only 2¼ inches wide and about an inch deep. So I mean, we're talking like a ring box, a trinket box of some sort. It's really more of a decorative object to have and to enjoy. As you can see, it would look very nice in my collection up here, but I can't keep everything that I buy. So I'm trying to sell this. I don't see any takers on this one, so I will go ahead and ask Karen to put in the stop for it and move on to my next item, which also has, oh, wait, I spoke too soon. There is a bid. Thank you, Carrie, for offering the opening bid. I will go ahead and count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stop with that. I agree, Pennsylvania Buzzard. It is a very well made, very nicely carved wooden box. I'm not as knowledgeable in my wood as Scott is, but it's definitely a hardwood, rosewood or mahogany, I would say. And we got the stop, so that means Carrie, Vaccaro. I apologize, Carrie. I'm not recognizing your name. So if you could just make sure you send me an email, I would really appreciate it. And even if I have, it's always good to get that email just to make sure that all the information I have is up to date. So also going into the Asian inspired motif, but this is not Asian. This is a very specific movement that was primarily popular in the UK, but came into America as well. And if you saw my video, you know what movement this is. If you didn't watch my video, it's a little pop quiz. It is, first of all, I love European porcelain, so it's very easy to trace this. There's a registration mark on it and everything. But just at a quick glance, you don't need to flip it over. You just need to see that design. It's got those palm leaves on it. It's got that stylized. We are ars gratia artists, art for the sake of art. We are a epitome of the aesthetic movement, which technically ran from the 1860s to the 1890s. Most popular 1870s, 1880s. Most people think of it in the United States. It's always associated. He wasn't American. I'm sorry. Start is $20. Thank you, Karen. $20 start, and thank you for asking, Jim. Think of Oscar Wilde. It's basically art for the sake of art. As much decoration that could go on here. We are going high Victorian. Just put as much design into it. And they started pulling these Japanese style influences on here. So this piece is identical on both sides. It's a small pitcher. It does have gold accents around the fan work, and a little bit is still there on the handle. There's a little bit of wear, as you would expect, on the handle. And then also you can see in really good shape all the way around that upper rim. And you can see some on the edges as well. But again, given its age, it does have a little bit of wear to the gold. Well, how old is it? Is it a reproduction? Is it, the aesthetic movement was, again, a very distinct time that really never got replicated. And I always think of it as 1880s. That was kind of the height of it. But if you go into anytime you've got a British porcelain, British pottery, there's something called a registration mark. And this is an interesting timing of it, because if you look over on the edge, there is this little diamond. In some cases, that diamond is bigger, and there's actually information in the diamond. And depending on whether it's in the top or the bottom or the left or the right, there's letters. All of those things correspond. It's like a little researcher's dream. You can sit there and figure it all out. This one is far simpler. If you look at the very bottom, you can see RNO. So it's a registration number. And then you see 39268. Very quick reference. If it's on the internet, it must be true. But for things like this, there are multiple references that go into that. If you look up that number, it was literally a sequential process that it was kind of like a patent to a certain extent. You'd get a registration number. So when this design was registered, was in the year 1885, which is exactly what you would expect. Now, that doesn't mean this was made in 1885. That's just when the design was registered. So they could have been making it for 5 years. But again, because of this design, would have been made for much more than 10, because it would have fallen out of favor by the late 1890s. Is it light? Is it delicate? It is not as light as you would think. It is more of a pottery stoneware as opposed to a light bone porcelain. This is a workhorse. This is designed to be used. The handle's got a really nice shape. All 4 of my fingers fit in there. It's a very good size. I think I saw somebody who was saying possibly for juice. I would think that's a fair assumption. It's just under 7 inches, maybe like 6 3/4 inches tall. Too big to be a creamer, too small to be a water jug. It could be a water jug for your bedside table. That might be more reasonable, but I think this size, I think a nice breakfast juice container with that style on it. It's not over the top, so it wouldn't necessarily have been brought out for company. It literally would just, match your East Lake furniture. It would match all of that high industrial revolution machine carving that was being done. You get all of this decoration to go with it. And then because things started getting over the top, that's when things cycled around to arts and crafts movement, where everything went back to making it from hand and much more simplified forms. So I love this era. As you can see, I am a maximalist. No, this is not a picture. This is my actual backdrop. I love this style, but I don't need another piece. So that is why it's for sale. I definitely see some bids coming in for it. I appreciate that. I will go ahead and count this down, and absolutely perfect. Other than the rubs on the gold, no chips, no cracks, fantastic condition. And again, well marked. I wasn't familiar with the name. It is Ceramic Art Company Limited, which closed in 1903. So, that also gives you a little bit of a hint of the age. It's Staffordshire. Hanley, Staffordshire is where it was made. So all of that is on the back, on the bottom. Absolutely love how well European porcelain gets marked. Anyway, count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. I watch for these stop, and then it goes back to Scott.
Yeah, I'm here. I will put myself back on in a second. Okie doke. Patsy wins at $309.
I don't think she'd be too happy about that.
Get it up, Patsy. Get it out. Ha ha. Patsy is paying $309. I've stopped. I'm messing it up. I'll be quiet.
All right. And even whether it was 30 or 39, it doesn't matter, because Christina is the one who gets it, unless Karen tells me it's Jim. Christina gets it for 40. I am going to be kind to Patsy and assume that was a typo and you were not actually bidding $309. So Karen can just confirm that Jim, unfortunately, was after the stop. And Christina, I apologize. I have a couple Christinas, so I'm not sure which one you are. So again, if you could send me an email, I would appreciate that. And you picked that up for $40.
Okay. What time is it? Oh, I've got a clock right behind me. And that clock was a gift from David in Texas. It's blue glass. It is Art Deco, made around 1940, and it's keeping beautiful time, as you can see. It is now about 1 minute before 9, 1940 time. Anyway, continue on. What would it be without a piece of EAPG? I'll find you one, Joshua, but you can't have that one because that one was a gift. So here's a piece of early American pattern glass, and it starts at $19. It is chip-free, crack-free, and it was made by the Imperial Glass Company. Now, how do you know that? Aha! I did not look it up in the EAPG database, so I don't know the name of the pattern. But how do you know that Imperial Glass made that? Well, I know it, and you can know it too. And here's how. Find EAPG, get it in the right light. Look down into the smooth part of it on the bottom. Turn it a certain way. Hold your mouth right, like that. And you might see a mark that says new cut, near cut, press cut, art cut, chicken butt. There's 4 or 5 others. This one, which you're never going to be able to see it, has a mark right down in here, and it says new cut. Now, that was a trademark that was used by the Imperial Glass Company, and they started around 1911. It took a few years for approval, and then they completely scratched it by the early 30s. That mark is on the plunger, not on the mold, right? The plunger, when the molten glass goes into the mold, the plunger comes down, and that's where that's marked. You see? And so anyway, sometimes if they don't pull the plunger down hard enough, you can't see it. But you have a pretty crisp new cut. It's pressed glass. It's not cut. But they were doing little marketing things. By 1911, this glass was still selling, but it wouldn't be too long before this would be old-fashioned. And so in this particular case, the companies were coming up with these marketing techniques, and that was one to put names on the glass. So it is pressed, and it has 2 handles. And after all that jibber jabber, which is fun to do because I like to give when I learn from other people, I like to pass that information on. So it's always fun to find a piece of new cut, near cut, press cut, art cut, and I can't remember the rest of them. No chips, no cracks. This is going to date to around between 1911 to the early 20s. And PA Buzzard has a bid of 21. None of the salt teeth are chipped. No chipped teeth. And pretty. You can serve anything you want at the table with it. Questions, comments, prayer requests. Count it down. 10, 9. The high bid right now is 21. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The next piece that I'm going to show you, I don't have a whole lot to say because I don't know who made it or what the pattern is, but it's pretty. So this piece goes to the Imperial. Piece is sold to PA Buzzard at 21, and I thank you. Thanks, PA. Buzz. I love this thing. You know what my favorite part is about that? Look at that swirly handle on the top.
That's awesome.
Now, that you might think those concentric circles might look very much like a deco motif. Let's turn it. Look how fat it is. Can you see that?
Yeah.
But it's also sort of the shape of a cosmos. This is older than deco. This is probably, and I'm almost certain that it would be classified as a piece of early American pattern glass, but Karen and I looked for it a little bit in the database, couldn't find it. That doesn't mean anything. We just didn't find it. It's a covered bowl to serve. It's footed. It has a chip on the inside rim of the lip, inside lip of the rim, and I'll show you that in a second, but it starts at $23. Let's take the lid off. The bowl is perfect. Inside the inner lip is a small chip right there. Just a little one, but not on the outside. So anyway, I love that knob on the top. And all these little thumbprints all the way around. It's footed. And it measures about, a little more than 5 inches across. The lid goes back on. There it is. What would you do with it? Hold a lot of candy.
I was there would hold there's cookies. I could see something bigger in there.
I know somebody's dying to tell me to put cotton balls and Q-tips in it and put it on the back of my turlet.
That'd be a lot of cotton balls. You can store your rolls of toilet paper in that.
You could stand and you could uprightly stand a roll of toilet paper in that. And you could put one over the handle on the top if you wanted so to do.
And you said you didn't ship punch bowls, but you're now kind of like being technical. Like it's not technically a punch bowl, but it's the size of one.
This would be a very small punch bowl.
It's for people that don't want to have a lot of guests.
True. Anyway, I'm just in love with that handle. I don't know what to say. This might be an addition to the database. Actually did look. Yeah, I know. So we're going to take some pictures, Karen, because we haven't found it yet. Pasta salad, 10-9. Josh Boy has our high. No, Josh P. Buzzard has you at 25. So we'll see what happens. 10. And I look at all these. 10. 9. I know it's 100 years old. I know it's 125 years old. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Oh, that handle, Marianne. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. That handle is everything. And it could be a Cosmos. Ugh. That's going to be my... Yeah, that's my only EAPG tonight.
Was that 2?
Yeah, I have to wait and see who the winner is, and then we'll take it back to you.
Okay.
Yeah, I wondered. Cosmos came to my mind. Tamlin Grouper. That's a fish. Gropner. That's a German last name, isn't it? Okay, the bit. Shamalama Ding Dong. PA Buzzard at 33. I think. PA Buzzer got both of those lots. It looks like it. Thank you, Buzz, and all who place. Ready, Patrick?
Yep.
Do it.
All right. So I spoke so highly of how European porcelain was marked. I feel like I need to give some American companies some love. So this is Derby Silver, which is technically Derby Silver Plate. It is a $20 start. And you can gain information from marks on American items as well. This one is actually very well marked. Let's see if I can show up here my camera.
You're welcome.
So you've got the Derby Silver Company mark. And again, doing a little bit of search, there are a couple of very reputable companies that post detail information. So if it is on the internet, you can believe it's true. Derby Silver Company started in Connecticut, on the East Coast in 1873. And they merged with International Silver Company in 1898. They technically still existed, but they started marking their things as International Silver. So by definition, it is between 1873 and 1898. But you can look at the printing that's engraved on the side and you start guessing that this would be a late 19th century piece. And as Tamlin asked and identified, you are correct. The bottom is a wishbone. So this style was done actually by a couple of different companies. Derby was one of the more prominent ones, and each one has a slightly different animal set at the edge of the wishbone. So this one says best wishes. Based on its size, I would say it is a toothpick holder. It has a relatively narrowish opening, about a 1 5/8 opening across the top, but you can see it does bulb out. I don't think it would be, I think it's too small to be a open sugar. It definitely wouldn't have ever have had a cover to it because there's a ruffle on the top of the silver. So I think it is a toothpick holder, but you can use it whatever you want. It's a little short, but it would also hold your pens. But you know, you've got all kinds of options. You could, got looking for something for your bathroom. This would be a perfect size to hold your Q-tips. There you go. Ms. Sarah and I have the exact same thought at the exact same time. Cotton swabs right on there. Probably not the cotton balls. They'd be lost in there, but, it's just a cute little piece. They're not, hat matches would be nice. Yeah. I wonder if there's any place on here you could use the striker. This is engraved on the bottom, but I don't think it's rough enough for the striker. But that's a fun idea. I've had things that I thought were toothpick holders, and then somebody gave me that, like, oh, they could be used to hold matches. And I started looking, and sometimes, you know, this is your own little trick when you're out in an antique shop. Like, toothpick holder, I don't need that. See if there's a rough spot on it. And they were actually for matches, because then there would be a place that you could strike the match directly on the piece. And Karen is also saying match holder. So it is silver plate. It doesn't say that. It also doesn't say it's sterling. But Derby, pretty much that's what they did. It doesn't have any mark on the back. I didn't polish it because I personally like the patina of that. But it is silver, so you can take it to town. What's nice, though, is it doesn't look like it's ever been heavily polished, so the silver plate is actually still on there. You don't have the dark copper spots coming through. Really cute, diminutive size. It was headed to eBay originally, but there are already several of these on eBay. And like, you know what? It's a fun piece. So I've given you guys starting at a good price. You're bidding it up, so I do appreciate that. So I think we're up to $25 now, and I will start counting it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. I should have asked Raj what kind of bird that was. I'm sure he'd have an idea. To me, it's just a bird. But it's a cute bird. And a little traumatizing that little bird is sitting next to the wishbone of a giant turkey. I agree, PA Buzzard. I always love the old stuff. And when you can date it with that level of certainty, it's even more fun. without any of the marking, I would have put this in the era of the. I know Scott, you've sold them. The World's Fair of like 1904. You know, kind of has that same writing on there for the red glass. You know, that you're in that just before, just after turn of the century. Okay, there's the stop, and it looks like Lisa Gens is the winner for $32. So thank you very much, Lisa. All right. So we're going from something that is very well marked and very obviously of its age to something that's trying to be of its age. So if you watched my videos before, I did a video on Nippon porcelain. And these were my examples because they go together. They are painted in the same light green paint. And I'm not giving you the start date yet because I want to make sure I explain what these are first. So they definitely go together. A beautiful, like if anything, we start talking about designs, this was made for the Western market. This is screaming Art Nouveau. So you would think that this is turn of the 20th century. It is actually turn of the 21st century because that stamp is not a legitimate Nippon, it's upside down, is not a legitimate Nippon stamp. This is something that you just get used to seeing it over time, the way it's painted. There's no attempt for this to be a Japanese design at all. This one actually has both Nippon and Japan printed on there, which never would have happened. And it is an hourglass mark, which is a recorded, go to Covels, go to any of the reputable places. It was a reproduction mark that was done in the late 20th century. So like we joked earlier, these are actually starting to be vintage again. They have a great look. And because they are not 125 years old, they're more like 25 years old or 35 years old. We're going to start, you get the pair for $20. So we're starting much lower than anything that would be of the actually marked, truly Nippon would be worth more than $20 for one item. You're getting both. They're both in pristine condition. There's no chips. There's no cracks. This one, I love the shape. This one actually was on display for a while in my own home because I just love the color. I love the shape. It's got this like bulbous, kind of form to it. It's Art Nouveau. I'm an aesthetic movement guy. I love stuff that's heavily designed. This big flowing vine of the handle just screams that muka, those flowing hair of the artist models. It's trying to be something. Unfortunately, it's not. But it's not technically and that's why I'm selling it. It is not a knockoff. It is not a forgery. It's something that they created, and they would have had a paper label to just sell it and export it to the United States. Some people would sell this as a true piece of Nippon for $100 because, hey, look, it's marked Nippon. Look how expensive. Hey, we're going to honor you or be honest with you. So they're both pictures. To a certain extent. This one is a ewer. This one, I would say, and I always get confused, but I would say this one would be the coffee pot, not a teapot. It does have the lid to it, but it is also a functional pitcher. So, and again, even the bottom, but again, because it's only maybe 35, 40 years old, it's in perfect condition. So even these are designed to be shelf sitters. If you're interested in Nippon, definitely get yourself a book, get yourself, really look through some of the knowledgeable sites, get to know some of the stamps. Some of them are more forgiving, and there's a lot of it out there. You'll just start getting used to the look of it. This is a matte finish. It's actually looking very shiny in my very bright lights, but it's a more of a matte finish. It's the shape. Susan's asking, could it be a chocolate pot? It is absolutely the shape of a chocolate pot. There's no stir or anything associated to put into the lid. So again, it's got the form of, you could say it was a chocolate pot. Not a teapot. Teapots need to be low and wide because the tea needs to steep. If you had this filled with water and you tried to steep tea, the tea would be all sitting at the bottom. Nothing up here would be flavored with tea. You'd be getting hot water. So teapots usually are the broader ones. Coffee pots can be more vertical, but you are absolutely correct. Hot chocolate pots are also a possibility, but they've also distinct designs too, which sometimes have
the chocolate pots also. typically, as that one does in your hand, have a very small, stumpy spout all the way up at the top.
Yeah, so it doesn't get clogged.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so this one doesn't even have a spout. It just kind of pours off the lip. So entire possibility, and this would look, it'd be fantastic to have a hot chocolate pouring out of this. So you get both of those. I do see a bid on it, so I do want to move on. We'll count it down. 10, and you're getting both. Again, if wasn't clear, it's not a choice. You get both. 10, 9, 8. Look at that handle, so delicate. 7,
Pretty.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. And again, you get both. And this goes in. There was a question about one of the pieces, that aesthetic movement piece. You also start feeling it's heavier than traditional Nippon porcelain. It's just a little bit thicker. It'll ship well, so I have no issue shipping these, but they look great. All right, there is the stop. So it looks like Thomas Cummings is adding to his black glass collection with some Nippon marked porcelain. Thank you, Thomas. Nope. Other way.
Speaking of looking nice on a shelf, I'm now going to sell 2 lots of ruby flashed glass from before the turn of not the last century, but the one before that. A couple of them are from early 1900. So I'm going to do both lots. Both lots are going to start at $20, and there are 4 per lot. So let's begin with the first 4, all for one money. I'm going to show you 4 of them. $20 is the opening bid we're looking for. Let's start off with the unmarked pieces. They weren't souvenirs, but they were part of table sets, part of for the table. A tumbler, which has no damage, and it's ruby flashed. These are the Victorian era ones. This is early American pattern glass, and we're in the period of the usually the 1890s, although you'll find some in the 1880s, usually the 1890s to even into the early 30s. I've seen some even later than that. But these pieces here, without the dates on them, are going to be around the turn of the century. So there's one tumbler. Again, it's $20 now for these 4 pieces you're about to see. A little tiny wine, the wines were little. This one has a little chip. This is fat. It's got decoration out on the sides that protrude. Can you see? And so one of them got nicked a little bit. This is a little unusual. That one got nicked right there. It looks like a sparkle, but it's a little nick in the chip rather in it. But that's a cute little cordial or wine. Remember, we think of the wine glasses today, but this is a little wine.
Well, back in the day, the wine was all made like port, too, with all high alcohol content.
That was a little wine, too. There's another little wine, and no, they don't match. But aren't they cute, these two?
They're not from the same, but they match. I mean, that red with clear, whole set of that looks fantastic.
They're not the same pattern.
Yeah. I love seeing all that stuff put together.
The tumbler.
Oh, that's neat. I didn't realize those were the same.
The little one. And then the last one that goes in this lot is that thing. I love the design. I like the shape. And you can do whatever you want with that thing. Isn't that nice?
Very nice.
4 pieces at $20. Ellie Hill. Well, there's a bunch of people who all put in 20. So you'll have to figure. You'll have to see who goes over the 20. But so no chips or cracks on this, which cups in a little bit.
Yeah, it's got a really neat shape.
It does. I've never had that shape.
It's like compact. It looked great with a little set of flowers.
Yeah, I've never had that shape before. Never had a tumbler and a stem, 2 little stems, and these are all together. So let's count these down. All 4 of these, and then the other ones over there all have dates and names, and they are coming next. So my $20 started these out basically at $5 each. You can't walk into an antique store and find one for $5. I can't. I was able to buy these at thrift stores though. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On the lot of 4 pieces that don't have dates on them, but that date from the 1890s to about 1912 or something like that. And then next up, we have 4 more. We have dates on these, and so we know what you've got there. So that lot goes to the stop is in. I'm sitting here going, Norma. I think Norma has them. Oh, Tammy Lynn has them at 30. Oh, okay. Tam Lynn. Okay, Tam Lynn at 30. I'm sorry. I'm fading in and out. Okay, so that set went for 30. Now, Norma is saying no, so we have to. And now she said yes.
Yeah, she says yes.
Norma.
Yes, no, right, you. Left.
It was, well, hold on. So it was $30 for Tam Lynn. Right?
That is what Karen is saying, yes.
Okay. Now my pen wants to change. Okay. Next, I've got 4 more. I'm forgetting something, but what's new? $20 start on these 4. Let's review them. So we'll put the $20 start in there. There we go. One of these has a cracked handle. I want to tell you that before I show them to you. There is a crack in one part of the handle. I might as well show it to you now. It's that one. And it's up here, but it's very solidly connected here. So it's not going to fall apart, but it is cracked. So that is damage up there. It's a beautiful picture. And it says Atlantic City, 1903, to my wife, Mary. And I'll try to get you to see. Here is Atlantic City. Here's the word Mary. To my wife, 1903. So I hope this is showing up. Sometimes if you look at it inside.
Yeah, that actually shows it really nicely, actually.
When you look inside?
Yeah, that shows it really nice.
All right, so I want you to know that there is this crack at the top of the handle, but again, very solidly connected here. Atlantic City, 1903, to my wife, Mary. Her name was Mary. Next, Ethel wanted some punch, and she went to the Export Expo in 1899, or somebody did. Export Expo, 1899, Ethel. That's not easy to say. Little punch cup for Ethel, so she can tie one on. Although she'd be very lightweight if she tied one on with that little thing. Next, we have Eleanor, Elinor. And Eleanor was remembered by someone in 1893, and we don't know where because it's not on there. 1893. Oh, I'm supposed to turn it this way. Eleanor, 1893. And the last one is a little tumbler. Guess where? Atlantic City. You know, I live 2 blocks from the train, the Atlantic City, and that train has been going to Atlantic City for 100 years or more than 100 years. And so that's why there's so much of it around here. This one says, Willie Conley. What a name. Willie Conley. See it in there?
Yep. Willie
Conley. I don't know. I rarely find full names, and especially the name of a man. You just don't find it. Atlantic City, 1903 or 8. You be the judge. Turn it so you can see it. I think it's a 3.
It's funny. We were just talking about those, and you see them from Atlantic City. I see them from the World's Fair St. Louis.
World's Fair, yeah.
So, same
90% of the ones that I buy here are Atlantic City. How long is the train ride to Atlantic City? Well, to drive a car, it's 1 hour from me. The train stops in the little towns, so I've taken the train before when I lived in Philly and didn't have a car. I used to take the train to Atlantic City. It still goes. I think it might take you about an hour and a half because it stops in little towns along the way. Okay, that's that. Let's count them down. Ready? Here we go. The high bid right now is Lisa Jen's at 31. And I think anyway. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Yeah, they would engrave them while you were there. You would pick out your blank and you would engrave it. They'd engrave it right on the spot. Thrifty. Yeah, absolutely. That's not to say that somebody couldn't buy one, bring it back to their hometown and have it engraved by a local jeweler. But this is the kind of thing that would be done on the boardwalk in Atlantic City. You would go home with your souvenir. I love them. Today we buy a t-shirt. Blech. Okay. Who's our?
Yeah, we don't have to stop yet. You're up to Kentucky Digger Steve at 50.
Can you get them engraved these days? Oh golly, I don't know. If you could take a blank, that's a good question. If you knew a good, I don't know if anybody has the talent to do it. I wouldn't risk it.
That would be finding someone that could do it, but conceptually, sure, people can
conceptually
still
you could
glass.
But with that kind of script, the way they did it then, I mean, who knows? Probably it would come out looking like probably LOL or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Somebody pulling out their Dremel and trying to carve into 100 pieces of your old glass.
Dremel, I can see it. Yeah, I can do it for you. Bring it in. Let me get my
$5.
It'd be terrible. All right, our winner is.
I see Kentucky Digger Steve at 52.
Kentucky Digger Steve, do you see?
Yeah, Karen just confirmed it. Steve for 52.
You can't see. You know where that came from? You guys gifted that to me, and it's here on this little table right here.
Nice.
That was the gift, and so was the clock, that runner. So I love that, Steve. Okay, I'm talking too much. Kentucky Digger Steve got it at how much?
52.
Okay, I'm sorry to run my mouth. Thank you, Steve, and everyone.
Hey, channel's more than just selling. We have chat and have fun too. Okay, next item. I praised the European porcelain and Connecticut silver for being marked, and now we get to gripe about things that don't get marked. So this is my next item. It's actually one of my favorite things that I've got in the sale tonight. It is a $25 start. It is a very nice, very hefty, very well designed, within an inch of its life, stamp box. So when is this from? So there's some clues, because there's absolutely nothing marking it on the bottom. The fact that it's all closed up, there's a couple keys that would indicate this is probably of its original age. It is not a late reproduction. Late reproductions would, the screws would be exposed. Here, there's actually the brass plate has actually covered those over. It is a stamp box. So you have all these slots for the different stamps. What also indicates that this would be an older one is these ledges are still slanted. When reproduction type boxes were made, these would just be little compartments. It'd be like a pill box. So there is going to be some age to this. It is designed in a garland style. So in the UK, that was the Edwardian style. In France, it was Belle Epoque. Here, you could call it Art Nouveau, but even that's a French term. There's not. I still say it's Edwardian, even though we are not. Yes, paper stamps. So you literally would have your individual stamps. You wouldn't have them on a roll. You'd have the old-fashioned stamps. You'd cut them out. You'd have to have the adhesive and everything on there. So you have the different sizes for the different types of stamps. It's a nice size. It's got some great presence to it. I would say this is probably in the teens. Like, think of Titanic. Like, this is kind of what you would see on a desk in the Titanic. It's got those garlands, so it's still very swirly and floral and flowery. So it's still got that Art Nouveau appearance to it. And there's no, Scott just talked about this, there's no angularity to this at all, other than it's a box. So you haven't started seeing any of the introductions of deco. So I usually put stuff like this in the teens. I did a little research. Stamp boxes in general were popular around the turn of the century, going into around World War I. But, you know, reproductions can get made. So I am not going to assert anything other than what I've said. It's a beautiful piece. It is very well made. But again, there are no marks on this to indicate when specifically it was made. So you just have to use your eye. There's some really nice weight to this. I would say this by itself is over a pound. If it was later, it would probably be lighter weight. So again, I think it's a very cool piece. You could put, the only thing I don't like about it, and maybe if you oiled it or did something, the hinge, that's about as far as the hinge will go right now without me trying to force it. So I've not done anything else to it. But if you were to do a little bit of work, there should be no reason that the hinge doesn't open any further. There's nothing blocking it. It's just tight. It's, again, super solidly made. Like, you can hear the heft of this. It would be kind of a cool pill box. You can use it for just about anything because it's a box. You can hold it. It's like it's still compartmented, you know, so you can't have anything long. You couldn't put pencils or anything in there, but you could put eraser caps in there. You could put paper clips. You could put push pins, all kinds of little things. It would look fantastic on a desk, fantastic on a vanity. It's a little too small for keys, but you could put some change in there, so you could have it at the front door on the way out. How cool is this? I did see a couple bids come through, so I will go ahead and start counting it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. So that was my unbreakable. For anyone paying attention, I'm trying to do one unbreakable and then one fully breakable item as each of my pair. So I'm watching for the stop. I'm sorry, Joan. It's brass. I thought I said that, but maybe I didn't. It is brass. I appreciate that this is popular. I'm glad you guys like it. And again, love the Unbreakables because this will be easy to ship. It's heavy, but it'll be easy to ship. As long as the person doesn't also buy a Murano glass figurine to go along with it. I've got to figure out how to ship two things together. Would a roll of stamps fit? Yeah, maybe it could. Because the cover is repousse, it's actually pushed into it. There is a little bit of space. There's a little bit of a curve there. You might be able to get. I'm not sure about a full roll of stamps. It's been a long time since I bought a full roll of stamps. But yeah, you might be able to do that and have them unroll. I didn't even think of that. Do they still sell rolls of stamps? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so used to buying just the sheets, so I don't even know. Okay, so it looks like two people were at 55, but I am seeing Lisa's time-stamped 1 minute earlier. So I just want to make sure Karen confirms that it's Lisa at 55. Because it looks like Glenn came after. Do you see the same thing, Scott? Lisa, yes. Okay, so Lisa.
Huh?
And good, she bought something also unbreakable, so I can ship two things together. One won't break the other. So Lisa, you got that for 55. Thank you so much for picking that up. So I said I was alternating between unbreakable and breakable. Well, this one's going to cheat because I have a little bit of a theme. I have two beakers, glasses, but I've got a nautical theme going on. So this is a $20 start. And we'll start with the primary piece. These were in the preview video that I did. These are now I could not find consensus because as we joke about what you find on the internet, if it's on the internet, must be true. I found two different sources, both fairly reputable, that said these are either Javits Bell or Toscany. Replacements called them Toscany, but Javits Bell said that they specialized in this bell-shaped lip. And so I kind of like the idea that they're Javits Bell, but I can't, there's no marking. There's nothing to indicate other than its style. It is a 5 3/4 inches tall. I bought them thinking it was like a small vase, but I did find it was a pair. I personally still think that a pair of these as a side centerpiece instead of candlesticks, having two of these with low bouquets in them, I still think would look awesome. But they technically, both from Javits Bell and Toscany, they are considered beverage glasses. They hold 16 ounces. It does have, to me, this lip would be somewhat weird to drink out of, but it also thinks it would actually accelerate your drinking because it would just help pour it right down your mouth. So use it however you want. But what is etched into this as a 4-masted schooner. They are identical. I said they're etched, but it's a combination. They are etched and cut because if you listen, there's actually a cut across the bow line. No, I don't know what that would be. It's a heavy cut and a heavy etch. So you get a pair of these. So you get an instant nautical addition to your, when's the America's Cup. You could celebrate whatever you want. You got those. And then it is summer, and I wanted to make sure I had these in the video for last month, but I never actually got a chance to include them in the sale. Are these small, I'm going to call them coasters. It'd be helpful if they were right side up. I'm going to call them coasters because they are the size of coasters, but they are on kind of a smaller base. So they're a little wobbly for coasters, but they do hold, they are the size to hold a decent sized cup. I'm drinking out of completely contemporary and boring glasses that I got from Home Goods. So again, they are a nice size. They're 4 unique designs. They are like a lacquerware. So you've got this colorful sailboat. You've got a blue and green sailboat with the red moon or red sun. You've got a 3-masted schooner to go with your 4-masted schooner beakers, and then a different style of 3-masted schooner. So they're kind of, you can see they're the same design, but this one has been painted differently than this one. They are all appear to be hand painted because the water is a little bit different on each one. I couldn't find any different of what these are. Who made them? I don't think they're one off. I'm assuming they were a production piece because they are molded. This is not just painted on. This is, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it, but like this, the sky is lower than the mast. So these are molded into this shape. But they're not marked. They probably would have had a paper label at some point. It does appear that that was either an injection molding mark, which maybe they're more of a resin, or it was somehow held to turn. You get 2 glasses. Thank you, Sparkle and Munge. You get both glasses, and you get the 4 coasters / wall art / trinket dish / jewelry dish, whatever you want to have. So Karen, coasters work nicely to cover your glasses. Well, that's very good. Keep the bugs out. Oh, don't let my husband know I just said bugs. He gets upset. He's an entomologist, so they are insects, and spiders are not an insect. Can't tell you how many times I've had to learn that. Anyway, so I do see a bid, and I will go ahead and count it down. You get all of this. It's not a choice. You get it all. Both glasses and all 4 of these unique coasters. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop.
I know the feeling, Patrick, because my father was a structural steel designer. And anytime we ever said cinder block, he would always say, they're not cinder blocks. They are concrete blocks. They haven't been cinder blocks for years. So
Yep. All right. So that is Heidi Esterholm gets those for 20. Thank you so much, Heidi. And that's back to you.
Well, all right. Here we go. And I still say tinfoil. I know it's aluminum. But I will say I'm going to the drugstore to get tinfoil, and I'm going to go home and run the sweeper. I will say that because my mother said it and my grandmother said it, and I can't unsay it. And I answer the telephone. What?
Too funny. Tinfoil, I will say it. That probably sneaks in every once in a while. I can't say I've ever called it a sweeper, though. That might be an East Coast thing or Mid-Atlantic thing.
I love a gooseneck lamp. I don't know why, because you can go womp, 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 because you can play with it. And I love to play with things. So 1960s, avocado green, 60s, early 70s. Again, we are in Taiwan. No, Japan. Wait a minute. Well, where does it start? Where does it start? If you'd be quiet and pay attention to what you're doing, you might not. It starts at $23. Now, these are wonderful. I didn't know how wonderful they were. A friend of mine was like, he wanted me to give it to him. I said, no, I'm not giving this to you. I do give things to friends. I didn't mean it like that, but anyway, skip that. The light bulb is fine. It was made in Japan. It has a weighted bottom, pardon the expression, so that it won't fall over. And of course, with the gooseneck, you can do anything you want. Here's the on-off. This is a head. This is plastic. This is tin, aluminum. This is metal, painted to be the same color as the plastic bottom. I do not have an Instagram page, but I do preview videos, Wally Valley. And so there was an actual preview video today. I almost always do a preview video, and they usually go out earlier during the day. I appreciate you asking that. So if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you will see it'll say preview video for tonight's auction, and you can preview the things and hear me talk even more annoyingly about them. The light bulb is what's called a push in and twist. Remember these, and you can get them on Amazon. They have the two little, like the Frankenstein nuts in the neck. Push in and twist. This is from It's Japan, and we know from the colors, when was avocado green popular?
Everyone, show your age.
And I just don't have a Glenn, so you'd be in the era of the avocado green. I don't have a what do you call it? An outlet that I can play with at the moment to turn it on, but it works perfectly. Yeah, but right, I don't, but you can still watch, and Patrick does. We both do preview videos. Whoever asked that, I forget now. So that you can see the items that we sell ahead of time. So you can still get these light bulbs when they burn out. So we'll count this down. And they came in all different colors, as you probably know. So this one, here we go. Ready? Are you set? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. You know, sometimes people want things to be in a decade. That's the 60s. No, that's the 70s. Well, there's fluidity. And in design doesn't not usually, confine itself to New Year's Day 1960 to New Year's Eve 1969. You know, there's flow to it in many cases. So this particular color, the 60s and the 70s. But go back and look at magazine ads from the early 80s. You're still going to see this color.
Yeah, everyone talks about the 80s like it's one thing, but no, 81, right? 82, you still looked like maybe the bell bottoms were gone.
Still looked very
everything was brown. Everything was still avocado.
Absolutely, Patrick. You got it. Yeah. We always seem to want to make everything to be in a decade, but certain things belong to a decade. Achy breaky heart belongs to a decade.
It can stay there that decade.
And it can stay there. Okay, 10. Did I count it down? I don't even know what I'm doing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. The high bid is 36. 3, 2, 1. That's it.
I think there had already been a stop. I think she was saying that Glenn got it at 36.
Glenn is the winner at 36. I don't remember counting it down.
I don't know. You were too entertaining. I don't remember now. They all roll together. But I'm looking at the flow of the chat, and the stop came after my comment about Facebook and Instagram. So I think you had counted it down.
All right. Well, hey, it's 10 of 10, and I'm fading. Hello, have the car brought around in 20 minutes. I'm on my way. Sorry.
Yeah, so Glenn for 36.
Okay, we're going to go a little bit over. Glenn, do I have your info? I don't remember. I know your name. So, Glenn, if I don't have your info, send it to me. But I do. I've seen you before in the chat many times, and so I know who you are, but I just don't remember having your name. All right. Teapot Royal. Here we go. Quick. 20 bucks. $20. There's a chip on the bottom, but you don't see it. Well, you do, but not really. It's here. It is on the bottom. Now, technically, when it sits on the table, if you get picky and get down at eye level, you might see it a tiny bit, but you really don't. See here? You don't really see it. You're still not really seeing it, but that's where the chip is. And you need to get your own tea basket because I don't have one, and you probably want your own anyway. But you know how the tea basket will hook to that. And then I love you let it steep. And when it has steeped enough, you pull the little chain, whoop, right? The tea comes out and the little chain can hang there. Now this is stainless silver plate on nickel on copper, hand decorated in the Royal Rochester Studios of Ohio. So we're in the 30s and the 40s.
If you're trying to show the bottom, I was gonna say, if you were trying to show the bottom, you were off.
Oh, you can't see the bottom?
There we go. You were off to the side initially.
Oh.
We couldn't see the stamp, but you fixed it.
All right. So there you go. I like it. It's a teapot.
I love that chain piece. I don't think I've ever seen one like that.
Oh, with a little chain?
Yeah, that's super cool.
Well, you know, you can get those little the steeping.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what they're called, but yeah, the little ball
I don't know what
or whatever.
I'm calling it a tea steeping basket.
Yeah.
And then you can pull the tea.
I've just never seen it with that chain to pull it out because then you want it to stop steeping at some point.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
right.
The fact you can pull that out, that's awesome.
So you can take it to your bedroom, put it on your bedside table, let it steep, pull it out. There you go. So we're gonna put the heart. If there's no bids, then we'll put the we'll give it a second. And there's no interest, then we'll okay, 25 for Glennie. And let's go ahead and count it down. The porcelain, the pottery teapot with the gold on it. It's very nice. I love this little thing.
Absolutely.
10. Off center, but good job holding it still. Thank you, Roseanne. It's hard for me to be still.
Easy for you to be off center, though.
That's very easy. I've always been off center. I'm proud of it. 10, 9, 8. Oh, no chips anywhere else. The spout is lovely. 10, just that chip on the bottom. 10, 9, and how elegant you'll feel. You come sauntering into the bedroom in your peignoir, and you sit down, or your smoking jacket, and you pour your tea. You can live in opulent poverty just like me. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Was that 2 or just 1? That was 2. Okay. Then we're going to go back to Patrick, and then we're coming back to me again for my last round. So we will go a little bit over 10 o'clock because it's already 10 o'clock.
So you still have 2 more items to go?
I got 2 more items, so I want to do one more round, but it'll be fast.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just do one more item. So we don't run too long.
Well, it's summertime. They'll stay up.
Okay. Because somebody did ask me about this one, so I wanted to go ahead and include it. So this next item is
wait a minute. No. Glennie, I'm sorry, Pat. Glennie at 4T. Wait.
No.
It says 4 and then the letter T.
Right. Jim was at 40. Glennie tried to be 45, so it looks like she corrected it to be 45, but that was after the stop.
Yeah, I've got to let Karen call it for.
And she did.
Jim at 40.
Jim at 40. Yeah.
Yeah, Karen, Glennie, I'm sorry, but we do stick to that, so I really do apologize. We think we know what you meant, but we've got to stick to that. I am sorry, dear. So it's got to go to Jim at 40.
Yeah.
Glennie, I hope you're okay with that. Thank you, Jim. Which Jim? Okay.
Okay. So the next item is the only textile I'm going to include tonight. I think I had 2, but we're going to do. This is a mid-century piece. I think it's one of the few that I had available, and it is a 52-inch square.
Thank you,
table
Glenn.
cover. It is a $15 start. It's got some great color to it. Check out those flowers. Check out the big, bold blue borders. And what I love about these, particularly when you've got the round or the square designs that are specifically designed to go over, a card table or a square dining room table, There's nothing in the middle, so you can put your centerpiece down and you've not ruined the design of the tablecloth.
Ooh.
So it's got a white square in the middle, completely open. And so the design flows out from there. It's the same design on all four sides. I will stand up. Again, it's 52-inch square. You've got a sewn hem on one side and a salvaged hem on the other. So it was manufactured this way. It was printed. The fabric was printed kind of like upholstery fabric to be this width. And then they would, it's a railroad design. They just cut the lengths and hemmed the top and the bottom. So the sides don't get an additional hem. That's a technicality. Because I owned a quilt store for 10 years. I tend to know stuff about fabric. I do not know, though. I meant to ask Scott before I started, and I honestly forgot. He's talked. I don't think this is bark cloth. I think this is just a traditional rough weave, kind of almost a homespun linen, block printed. You can see where the blue just almost meets up to the green. It's heavily printed, but it is just surface printed, but it did go through. It is not, the color is not woven into the fabric. It is applied to the top. I don't want to run too late tonight. So I see bids. I'm going to go ahead and count it down. I see 2 bids at 15. So someone's going to have to try and move that up.
Take 10, your time, Patrick.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
That's beautiful.
2. I love the colors on it. It's in such great shape. 2, and no stains or anything. 1. Sorry, Karen. 3, 2, 1. Stop.
Boy, the colors are so vibrant on.
Yeah, they're such good shape considering its age.
That is. Let's see what that sells for. That looks like right now it's going to be a steal of a deal.
And here's your textile hint for the evening. If you're storing your textiles, do not fold them in halves.
Yep.
Because everyone folds them in halves. And so that ends up being the weakest part of the fabric. So fold it into thirds. Yep. And your fabric, your textiles, your vintage textiles will last longer. All right, do I see the stop?
It's in, and at $25 maybe. That was Justine, possibly. Is it Justine?
Yes, and I'm sorry. I thought I said Jennifer. No, there were no spots, no stains. It was an absolutely fantastic condition. Justine. And I think I have you, Justine, but if you could do me a favor and I don't think I've shipped you in a while. So if you could send me an email, I would appreciate it. And then, so my last item, that was my unbreakable. So my last item will be breakable. This was actually in my preview video for last week. I will bring this back because I didn't get a chance to show it last week. It is a crystal Aurifers koala bear paperweight. I just want to sell it. So I'm going to start this baby at $10. So if you know anything about Aurifers, yeah, this will be the deal of the night if somebody gets it for $10.
Well, drag this out. Don't undersell it. Drag it out. That's a good name and a good piece, and that is quality.
It is quality. It's in perfect condition. There's no chips. There's no cracks. I just happened to get a good price on a lot of it. So I picked a cute one out that I thought might sell well here. So we'll see what happens to it. Starts at 10, see where it goes. But it is, as you see, it's a mama koala bear with the baby koala bear on back. And it still has the Aurifer sticker on it. And if I remember right, I don't think, I think it's got this signature, but I don't think it has a date.
Thank you, Jim. Yes, I am pretty sure I do have your information. And that PA Buzzard might be interested in that for her poker playing dogs.
So it is signed. It looks like it's signed by the artist, maybe. Can't quite figure out what that says. But that is etched into the bottom. But again, fantastic quality, absolutely perfect condition. It's just, if you like paperweights, you like koala bears, you like tchotchkes, you got a great one. And I'm going to go ahead and count it down. It's 9:05, well, 9:05 for me, 10:05 for Scott. We've got his 2 more items to go. So we'll count this down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. All right, a couple people see that there's a deal going on here, so they're trying to sneak in, so I appreciate that. Give Mama and Baby Bear a home. I see the stop. So it looks like Miss Jackie at 19.
Hey,
nice pickup. Yes, Orifers is very high end.
Jackson Browne? Who sang Hey 19?
Oh, that one I don't recognize.
That was the early 80s. Hey 19. No, we can't. Something, 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 something. That was the early 80s. Okay.
And Miss Jackie, if you could send me an email, I know I recognize your name, but I've lost a lot of my history when I change computers. So if you could, I just make sure I have all your updated information. And it's back to you, Scott.
Patrick, before Steely Dan, thank you. Before I run my mouth any longer, I totally invite you to stay. But if you and your husband have something else going on and you need to run, cool. I'm going to sell 2 more items. I'm going to do a show and tell on something that I can't wait to show and tell. And then I have a little bit of announcing to do. So you can stay.
Okay.
But I don't want you to feel like, oh my gosh, how long is this man going to talk? And
no.
I've got a plate.
I always appreciate you having me on. I don't want to keep you late, but if you're staying on for your own thing, I might stick around. Go ahead and sell your stuff first. We'll see where that goes.
Okay. So you may still be here. Now, so I've got 2. You remember that song, Hey 19? Okay, so I've got 2 more things. And this is everybody knows what it is because I've talked about these until the cows come home. The cows aren't here yet, but so that means I can talk some more. It's a candy jar and it starts at $20. This one has, again, a little chip on the lip, but it's that inner lip, not the outer. So it's the one that you don't see on the inside. $20, beautiful. This one has some etching on it. What I meant was wheel cutting, not etching. And it's a nice big tall one in crystal. You know how much I love these. Every glass company made them. They were the quintessential gift item around 1930. They come on the scene in the mid-20s. They remain popular into the 30s. And then the form kind of fades. It sort of looks like an apothecary jar. These were candy jars. The round ones were even called candy boxes. And I'm telling you, if it was an American company that made glass, they had these in their catalog. Every color you can imagine. Etched, cut, frosted,
another household account.
hand painted.
Sorry, my Alexa started talking.
That's fine. Did I say? And I just love these. So did I tell you that we start at $20 on this one? It stands 10 inches tall, and it's the typical form that you see on these candy jars. And the cutting on it is typical little flowers of the era that you can see. Mo has our opening bid of 20. Yeah, you were worried that some woman snuck into Scott's house. I'd be worried if some woman snuck into my house. Is it snuck? No, it's actually sneaked.
Sneaked.
Because my mother always, I'm not correcting you, PA Buzzard. My mother was a teacher. Now, I think you can say snuck today, but technically, when we were, if we said snuck, she'd say, there's no such word as snuck. It's sneaked. But it sounds weird to say sneaked because that doesn't sound correct. Snuck sounds correct. It's like, join Patrick and me. Everybody wants to say join Patrick and I because it sounds,
Nope.
But that's wrong.
That's the wrong one.
That's the wrong one. So sneaked is correct. PA, I am not correcting you. I am not. I don't correct other people's English, but my mother is allowed to correct mine because she was the school marm for 120 years. So sneaked, not snuck. Anyway, with all of that, did we get a bid? I guess we did. Past tense, they're already in your house. Oh, thanks a lot. I still haven't gotten over that Tammy girl who put somebody in a. She put a burglar in a hoodie in my porch window. You remember that? Scared the living, and then Ken put Liberace out there. Well, that didn't help. Anyway, enough is enough. 10. No, I don't even know where we are. 10. Do we have a bid?
Yes, you have a bid.
Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7. Snuck up on me. Sneaked up on me.
Did it sneak up on you?
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. And next week you can join Patrick and me. Don't let it sneak up on you. Oh, my word.
But Scott and I are going to do a show.
That is correct.
Yeah. That's when you start blowing people's minds. Like, wait, what is it?
What a show that would be. So the candy jar goes to, talking of correct, I have a friend who says it's a koala, not a bear. But I know, oh, yeah. Well, we can all.
Oh, the things we got taught in school that are so wrong now. When my daughter came home from school one time and said it's no longer I don't even remember now what they're called, starfish. I'm like, what is it? It's a sea star. I'm like, because it's not. I'm like, no, it's freaking starfish. Okay.
Sandra Garcia got it first at 25, I think. Patsy, I think your 25 came in after Sandra. I didn't know about that sea star thing. Yeah, Sandra.
Yeah.
Okay. Sandra Garcia. And then the last thing that I've got, well, I have to tell you what I pulled because someone is going to want to know. And I should have said this at the beginning and I apologize. If you've been waiting all night with bated breath, and you've been sitting there concentrating on when is he going to bring out those 3 plates, I have to apologize. About 10 minutes before I was to go live, I was being wheeled into hair and makeup and the telephone rang and I picked up the telephone. It was my mother who is traveling somewhere with my stepfather. I don't know where they are. Actually, I do know where they are. They're out of state. And she said, I just watched your preview. I said, okay. I would like one of those plates. I said, well, mother darling, I've already put them in a preview and they're supposed to be sold tonight. She said, I will come to your sale and I will purchase them. I said, no, you won't. I will pull them. Well, I only want one. Well, which one do you want? Well, I'm not sure. I'll bring them to the house and we'll figure out which one you want. Maybe you want all 3. So you can't get mad at my mother. I didn't break them, but I pulled them and they're hers. And no, I'm not going to sell them to her. They're hers, but I did pull 3 painted plates. That's the reason why I don't have them tonight. Is that okay with everybody? Thomas just said good night. I would say good night too, because this is getting really pedantic with all of our Grammar corrections.
But Christina's got it right. Moms come first. So
Yes, she does.
Gotta take care of your mom.
Absolutely. I will be thrilled to take those 3 plates over there and model them all over the house wherever she would like to have them. The last thing that I've got for you tonight is a mystery. I have absolutely no idea, but it starts at 20 bucks. I walked into the thrift store, and when I saw that, I almost, you know what, because I thought, whoa, that looks like a good piece of art pottery from 1910. Then I got to looking at it and I said, no, it's not. Then I turned it upside down and I have no clue. It's not old. I can tell it's not old. It says on the bottom, RS something. It could be a Z. I can't tell. Who knows? But somebody signed it on the bottom. I don't know who that is. It has a wonderful old, it's not chipped or cracked. So we're going to call it, a piece of contemporary pottery. It's not, I wish it were Grundy or Newcomb College or Weller or Tico or somebody else, but I don't know. This is a pretty piece of green pottery. What say you?
I think it's beautiful. Funny you say it, because the first thing that came to mind when you held it up was Tico, and then you just said it that's what you thought it was too. But yeah, they would not have marked it that way. So,
so pretty piece of art pottery. It is not chipped. This where you see pottery coming through, that's glaze. You see, that was done in the kiln, so it's not chipped or cracked. I really don't know anything about it, but I think it's quality. I think it's beautiful. And it's just a pretty piece of art pottery. And I don't expect that it's any more than 10, 15, 20 years old. Who knows?
Just maybe starting you out at 20.
Maybe someone knows. I don't. So I need to be taught on this. It's beautiful and decorative.
It's an interesting building technique.
RSZ? I don't know. I can't hold it still for very long. It's not Van Briggle. It's not old enough. I'd love it to be Heidi, but it's just.
Yeah, the pottery's too light on the bottom.
Yeah, it's not. It's a contemporary piece of art pottery. I wish, but anyway, let's count it down. Ready? Here we go. Van Briggle would be wonderful.
Newcomb would be wonderful. You mentioned that one too.
Newcomb, any of them would be wonderful. An experimental glaze by, some obscure Southern pottery. I don't know. 10, but someone is interested in it as a decorative piece.
Yes.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. And I should have asked Karen's permission for us to stay up late, because if we stay up late, she has to stay up late. But Karen, that's technically it. I'm going to run my mouth for a minute, and I'm going to do a show and tell. And I'd be glad to bring you back and have you show and tell if you want, Patrick.
I will actually sign off.
Okay.
Because I'm in the corner of the bedroom, and so Rod is going to be coming in to get stuff ready. So I will say goodbye to everyone and appreciate you. First of all, as always, appreciate you having me in your sandbox. I always like playing in your sandbox. So hosting me on your channel once a month, I appreciate it. I try and grab things that I think, oh, this will be fun to sell. Deciding what goes on eBay, what goes into my booth, and then what comes on the sale is always kind of fun. And I appreciate everyone that joined us tonight. So thanks for the purchases. I think I did check to make sure I had everyone's contact information. And I will try again, get my invoices out by Wednesday night.
Patrick, say hello to Raj. Enjoy the last month of summer. Hopefully I'll get out there one of these days to visit you guys. I'm sure I will.
That'd be fantastic.
You really make these 2 Monday nights. You and David make these Monday nights a pleasure for me to do these with you. And I appreciate you being here. So thank you.
It's a joy for me as well. So have fun. Enjoy your announcements and your show and tell. And I'll tell you everyone else hopefully next month. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Patrick. Thank you. And I want to make sure I got that the last winner on the art pottery, I believe, is Patsy McCarthy at 23. Thank you, Karen. Patsy McCarthy at 23. Thank you so much, Karen. I appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to do a show and tell, and then I have a little announcing to do. So if you can still be here for a few minutes, you know, if you got to go to bed, go to bed. I understand. Let me hit refresh on that just to be sure I'm where I'm supposed to be, because this is the place to be. Wait. Okay, go read this story to the grandchildren. That's what you should be doing. Don't listen to me. Let's do a show and tell, and then a little commercial for something that I didn't tell. Karen doesn't know that I'm showing this. So I was in the a couple of days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, I was in the Philly AIDS thrift shop where I often take you, or where I have taken you before and filmed, the Philly AIDS thrift shop. I've been going there since it opened. And it did open during the AIDS crisis. And I don't know how much of the proceeds, but a great deal of the proceeds are to continue searching for a cure for HIV. And it's a wonderful thrift shop in Philly. Go there if you get a chance. Sometimes you say, oh, it's way overpriced. Other times you can't believe what you find, and they negotiate in there. So you can find a manager and say, hey, this has been sitting here for 3 months. Come on. All right, have it for half off. They'll do that. Well, this wasn't sitting there for 3 months, but I couldn't believe that I bought this for the price that I paid. And now I don't remember what I paid, but it wasn't much. And you know what it is? Of course you do. Can you guess how old it is? Take some guesses on the age, and I'll show you. It's all there. It will eventually be for sale. But I've got to chafe something first, right? Well, I'm not sure what I would put in it, but let's take off the lid. Beautiful lid. Are you guessing the age? 1939, 1890. Look at that enamelware pan with something on the bottom. Early 20th century. And then there's this part. And then there's this part. And then there's this part. The burner. Let's pull the burner out first and put everything back in. I've never seen one with a porcelain. That almost looks like a chamber pot, doesn't it? So you put your hot water in there. Yeah. Then place this in with your green bean, almondine. The condition is supercalifragilistic. Yeah, I'm going to sell it, but I got to play with it first. And look. And guess what? All the information is right here. And it says fondue pot from Switzerland. It says, well, it's American. Manning Bowman. The earliest patent date on it is from the 1890s. The latest patent date on it is 1901. And I think somebody in there got it. Somebody said 1901. Jennifer Hines got it. 1901. So that's the most recent patent date on it, 1901. And so it's right there. So I love this thing. I guess you call it a chafing dish or a warming, you know. And I can't get over the condition. I think I paid $20 for it. I really don't. I think I paid more than that. Can you imagine at a fancy dinner? Oh my goodness. So when is it going to be for sale? I don't know, but I do want to play with it first. I want to pretend, that I'm in Downton Abbey or something like that. Isn't this wonderful? So I wanted to just do a show and tell on that. And I can't believe it's complete. Everything is there, from the burner to the lid and everything. So I was really excited about it. Someone did love it and kept it in excellent condition. Yes, cream chicken over toast. Thank you, Karen. Okay, the last thing I want to tell you is, and please, by all means, go to bed, go read a bedtime story to the grandchildren, take a bath, have some ice cream, go watch reruns of Matlack or something, but don't sit there and listen to me run my mouth. Look at these eyelids filled with fluid from, not eyelids, from allergies. What I wanted to say is this. I am working on my Ocean Grove video for you, and I know I've been saying that, but I am working on it. What I really want to say is this. My two favorite evenings each year are Christmas Eve and that Ocean Grove concert. I was 19 when I first sang in it. This was the 40th year that my mother and it was 40 years ago that we both sang in it. I want to be able to sing in that concert when I'm 90. Now I'll be 60 next year. Okay, so it's been getting smaller and smaller every year. 40 years ago when I was 19, 6,000 people came to hear that concert, and the choir was about maybe 600 voices. Now, I don't mind that the choir has gotten smaller because we're more musical, we're more manageable. We hear each other, we sing better, we take direction better. So I like that. I don't want this to go away. That's why I promote it. I don't promote it for me. I don't want you to look at me. Look at me. It's not about me. It's about the music and the message. I want that experience to be there for, maybe this is selfish, but I want it to be there for me so that I can sing in it for the next 39 years. Will I be 90 in 39 years? Anyway, you get what I'm saying. So here's what I want to say. I'm starting early. My goal is to add 30 voices to that concert next summer. Now, how am I going to do that? Write to me. I will get all that information to you. You know, you live in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, Delaware. Come on now. You can drive up. You got a little church choir. You say, well, my little church choir isn't that good. Oh, come on. You don't have to be a music major. You don't even have to read music. It helps. The music is hard, but you get the music way in advance. You can practice it way in advance. Get a van load from your church. And if there's not a van load, if it's just you, then you come. I want 30 people. I want to recruit 30 people, soprano, alto, tenor, bass, I don't care what you are, to come and sing in that concert next year. It helps if you are within driving distance of Ocean Grove. Get a hotel, but get it early because they're expensive and there aren't that many. Even come and being the audience. I promise you, it'll be an experience like you've never had before. That auditorium, and it's not a church, it is an auditorium, the great auditorium. That auditorium, do you know who sang there? Enrico Caruso, Ameliti Galli-Curci, Madame Ernestine Schumann Heink. They sang there. Woodrow Wilson spoke there. William McKinley. It's such an historic place with one of the largest pipe organs of the world, one of the 20 in the top 20 of pipe organs in the world. It is such an amazing experience to be a part of that. Even if you're there in the audience to sing the hymns and to hear the music. You don't know, Enrico Caruso is not still living. Enrico Caruso died in 1921. You must be thinking of somebody else. You don't have to be a Methodist. You don't have to be a Christian. You don't have to be a believer. You might be after you hear that music and are in that space. But I want that experience to continue for future generations. I'm taking it upon myself to try to recruit 30 people. And if I can do that, that's me trying to add to keep that experience going. So I can send you the information. You've got a whole year in advance. They practice online. There are online videos. Get your church choir to do it. There might be 2 people in your church choir. That's a duo. And you'll absolutely love the experience. So I am going to get that information to anybody who writes to me, get you the websites, get you all the information that you need. And I promise you that it'll be a night you'll never forget. 30 people. Can we do it? Norma will be there next year. Michael and Mary will be there next year. Carmen was there this year. My mother was there this year. And I think we can get 30 people. Now, I don't know where 30 came from. It was just 30. But we'll see. So that was my little commercial. And Ocean Grove did. I don't get, and that's not, this is just because I want this experience to continue. And I want to be able to sing in that concert when I'm 90. So there. Okay, that's it. So now what are you saying? Now I have to figure out who I'm thinking of. Not Enrico Caruso. I'm not sure who you're thinking of. Thank you all so much. I had to be fun to be sick. God bless everyone. Okay, Karen, thank you. Not my church choir. Nope. Well, why not? Come on. Thank you. I did have a happy birthday, Hollow Thrifty. Thank you so much for asking me, for wishing me birthday wishes. I appreciate that. Female tenors, come on. We love you. So that's that. So I hope you'll look for the Ocean Grove video as soon as I can put it together. I'm still working on it. I've been on and off kind of sort of vacation, but I'm getting back into it now. Thank you all for being here. And I guess it's time to go to bed. I will work on the invoices tomorrow morning. Maybe start a fundraiser to help a church. Absolutely. You can do that, Susan. Start a fundraiser where somebody gets a van, you drive up, just get a hotel somewhere in Jersey. I'm telling you, you will love it. You come, you stay all day. There's a fantastic rehearsal. And you don't have to audition. Nobody's going to make you sing in front of anybody. And I'll tell you, you will absolutely love that experience. So I'll work on the, the invoices tomorrow morning, and I'll have those. Oh, Mario Lanza. I don't think Mario Lanza sang there. He might have. I don't know. I think wasn't he from Philly? That's all for now. I went to a concert at Ocean Grove. It was great. I'd sing there. There's nothing like it. There literally is no, I can't think of another place. It's unique. Okay, next Monday night, there might not be a live sale because I don't think I'll be available. I have not yet told David, but I'm hoping David can move his schedule to the third Monday of this month instead of next Monday. So I'll keep your eyes peeled. I'll let you know. I'll do some kind of an announcement so that you know in advance if the live sale is next Monday night or if it's the third Monday night. And again, I'm on my summer schedule, so I'm only doing 2 live sales per month. But the autumn extravaganzas will be back in September. So good night, all. And until I see you again, thank you so much for watching. And wait for the cat and so long. Good night, everyone. Let's do the good night from wherever you're from. So tell us where you're from. Yes, that's nice of you, Karen, to put that in there. You can subscribe to the Ocean Grove channel. There are constant concerts. There's a something every morning at 9 o'clock that they broadcast. There's lots to watch. So let's say good night from where you're from. Good night from beautiful southern New Jersey. And where are you from? Atlanta, Georgia, Wisconsin, and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I hear there's a pawn shop on the corner in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Good night from Virginia and Madison, Wisconsin. You forgot that song, didn't you? There's a pawn shop on the corner in Pittsburgh, Lake Charles, Louisiana, Brooklyn, New York. I think I changed keys there. It's okay. It's late. Boston, Scranton, where a lot of my people are from. I'm coming up to see you, Jim. I'll be in Scranton. Susan in Virginia. Oh, where in Virginia? Good night from all. Oh, wait, it's too fast. I'm a new viewer, and I'm up until after midnight watching your show. I'm a vintage myself. I can't relate to a lot. Good night from Corpus Christi. New viewer. Yay! Round of applause. San Francisco. Mechanicsville. That must be in Virginia, right? Michigan. Okay. Bye. Good night. Boop. Bristol, Tennessee.